I don't fluently speak for, so I use things my husband says, and it makes sense to force.
You've been able to talk me off ledges before, things we've been through, we've seen. I don't know if you would call it speaking for or not, but the fact that you can communicate with me in the way that you do and understand me even before you were doing this stuff, I think you speak for. The fact that you were able to marry her for, you speak it.
Before an Enneagram workshop, would sit down with my husband and ask him a question, and then I would just regurgitate it.
That's what you would do. Okay.
Regurgitate.
Where's your cup at?
It's over here.
Regurgitate.
There's a minute.
I still said it.
I know.
Woo, that's rough. Anyway, I would say back,
Mhm.
but he would say, have you seen the movie Get Out with the teacups?
Yeah.
You seen that?
That I think that she was dope.
That's what you do. You're not going to talk
Okay.
about your thing for old white women. That's
Okay.
not what we're talking about today.
That's
No,
not
I
what
would-
you're talking about today. I might need more words on this. We can
No,
put a pin in it
trust
and
me,
come
you
back to
don't.
it later.
Oh, listen,
But
trust
I
me.
really need to hear this.
I'm talking about 70-year-old random white women.
Not
That's what the
70.
point.
Don't say 70.
60?
Maybe 60.
I don't know that I want to know.
I'm pretty sure I said that.
I'm gonna put a pin in
let's-
that.
Let's put a permanent pin in that.
It's not
And-
permanent.
Hey, I'm trying to date up. You know what I'm saying?
Up in age.
Up in everything.
I don't even know where I was going with
know.
that. Oh, I was talking about Get Out. She taps on the teacup and they go into what they call the sunken place.
Mhm.
This is a place my husband references. Going into a place of emotional turmoil. You're stuck and it's cycling. Your thoughts are reinforcing certain feelings. You're thinking something and it's making you feel some kind of way, and you're thinking something and it's making you feel some kind of way.
Yeah, I hear you.
He drew it on the chalkboard before my workshop, a swirl that started big and got down, 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 what he called the sunken place. This won me a lot of points with the force. Stuck in this place of, I need his words, but darkness where he's unable to get out, where the thoughts and feelings start swirling. He has learned a process where he has to pick an action to get out of it.
Like, give me an example of one of his actions.
He's put a whole bunch of work into our front yard. There are still areas where it won't grow. The example he gives is, so he'll just be walking by and look out the window and see bald spots in the grass. He will sit there and obsess about what he could have done different. He gets frustrated, like, well, I'm never going to figure this out. And he'll spiral, but it never comes to a place of action. So he's learned a process of getting to the
Man.
point. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
he's learned a process of getting to the point where he notices the spiral start to happen and use action as a way to springboard out of it. Let me go to Home Depot, get on YouTube, I'm gonna figure it out. That's not natural for a Ford because it's so easy for the thought feeling spiral to sink you down and down and down.
Oh my God, fam.
Tell me about it.
He described it really well. I like that. There are things that spiral and sink you down. I read this autobiography of Marcus Garvey. When he was a child, like 12, 13, it's tradition in Jamaica. The father would dig a hole, 7, 8 feet deep hole, right? The father would take the son, climb down a ladder into that hole, and say, when I climb up, I'm pulling the ladder with me. You got to figure out how to get out on your own. His dad climbed out of the hole, pulled the ladder up. He had to figure out how to get out of that 8 feet hole on his own. When you say that spiral, you're trying to climb out, but you can't. It's the same thing. He said his mom would come out crying and screaming to his dad, let my baby up, let him up. He can't do it, let him up. And life is like that, where people are trying to help you, but his dad wouldn't let that happen. Eventually, he clawed himself out of the hole. His dad says, see, now you know in life, you can't depend on anybody but yourself. It's the same thing. One thing will put you in that hole. It's up to you to climb out. You might have friends come try to help you, even though you know that person was there for you. If his mom had pulled him out of that hole, he wouldn't have been who we know he is today. I think we know we need that to be who we need to be and do what we need to do. And for me, it's like, man, when you said that, you can see the grass, you know what you need to do, you need to take the actions to do it. I look at my life, there's so many things like that. In relationships, it's the same way where really you can just reach out and fix it.
Maybe
But-
for somebody else.
But for me,
Yeah.
it kicked my ass first. Just the thought of it kicks my ass.
The Enneagram, there are 3 different ways of knowing: thinking, feeling, and action.
Mhm.
4s are centrally emotional beings. What they are disconnected from is the action. So when they're able to add the action
So-
to the thinking and feeling,
In music, I can say everything that I know I need to fix. There's even been points where I've been like, but you heard my song before, so why you know what I mean? That lets you know I know. Like, if you know it, why don't you do better?
what is it that you need when you're in that sunken place? I know the worst thing you can say to a 4 when they're in that place is what's wrong. What I've learned from my husband is what he needs from me is to basically block for him while he's down there. He doesn't need me to pull him out. He needs me to have confidence that he'll be back.